Hi, Bree.
Hi.
We're in person.
I know.
This never happens.
So crazy. Well,
Yeah.
it does, but like not for this. Usually.
No, we got lunch earlier and we were like, do we hang out without going to a sporting event? Except we're also going to a, yeah.
But like not already at a sporting event / that's a later thing.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming all the way out.
It was so fun. I was like romanticizing the commute. I was like, I get to drive and park my car and I get on a train and I get on another train. It was fun.
How long did it take you? Like 3 hours?
I left my house at what? Like 9:45.
When you got here at 1?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Usual. But it would take me like 3 hours if I drove it anyway.
Yeah.
So I had time to like do stuff on the train, which is better.
Fair enough.
In my opinion. But I made it.
You did. Yay.
Ken's comes to New Jersey more often than not, so it was my turn.
It's okay. So welcome back to Read Between the Blue Lines. I'm Mackenzie. That's Bree. Yeah. We're in person.
Yay!
And if this goes well, we have a video component now. Yeah. So if you want to go watch us on YouTube, and that's possible, we'll provide a link.
Please
if not,
do. Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be okay.
I'm recording this on like 2 different things, and so I'm hoping that it like works.
We're gonna look crazy looking at like 3 different. Like, is it working? Is it working? We're good. We are good.
4 Nations was not a flop. It was in fact actually amazing.
Bingo card checked off. Thank you so much to Pasbury, who had faith.
Yeah.
In it, unlike a lot of people, I feel like did not. But
I just it was good. It was successful. I'm very happy with it.
Not surprised. I don't think winner wise. Well,
I'm not surprised winner wise. I'm surprised at the lack of effort from. Okay.
Yes. Well,
this is part of what I wanted to talk about today. And we've said this before. The U.S. picked like superstars instead. Ow! I bit my tongue.
Technical. We're starting off really strong. It's okay. Setting the tone.
Technical, like, they picked superstars instead of like looking at like lines and how everyone worked together. Yeah. And I think that really hurt them, and I think that it really hurt some of their players. Like Hughes didn't show up.
I also think it showed the weaknesses of some players who maybe should not have been chosen to said team.
Austin Matthews?
Yes.
I mean,
I was thinking like all of the Rangers. Minus maybe Chris Kreider, who like did something.
I don't think any of the Rangers should have been on that team.
Yeah.
And I think that I saw a tweet that was like, Chris Drury like petitioned so hard for all of these players to be on this team.
Yeah.
And then they went out and everyone basically was like, okay, great. So here's how we take advantage of this for the rest of the season because they suck.
Yeah. And I think it's good that they did this before the Olympics because you get to kind of see how like certain players play together when like you send them to a different tournament. Also, like, the Olympics are played on bigger rinks because what?
They're being played on NHL-sized rinks, I think, in Italy.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, well, usually it's like the
Which
European.
Is so weird. Unfortunate.
Why would they do that?
I don't know, because I really wanted to see, like, McDavid on, like, a really big
I was going to
rink.
say, like, that would benefit, like, Jack, I feel like, would be, like, so great with a rink that big. Okay, so anyway.
Yeah.
I think it helps establish like who has chemistry, who works well together, who you may or may not have on a roster in a year-ish. But I do think Canada had it more figured out of we need this player as a fourth liner. He's going to play well as a fourth liner. As the U.S. was like, superstar, you can score goals, you can do this. And then like a random bunch of players who had success with Team USA in the past and maybe didn't exactly deserve to be there. And it didn't kind of like came back to bite them. But it was good. I just think they have lessons to learn in that sense.
Canada looked a lot more structured.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry, Jordan Binnington, for doubting you. I still don't
wild, though. I don't think.
Like you.
Yeah.
But.
Among others, yeah.
Like. Some of those saves in overtime, I'm just going, oh my God. No, they were fantastic. But I'm looking and I'm going, where was this the rest of the tournament?
I was going to say that. And like when he's playing with the Blues, it's like subpar. I'm like, why? Like,
apparently
what
when
is
he's
the difference? game 7s overtime. You gotta have like the big moments.
You gotta give him a winner take all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel bad for like Canada brought 3 goalies and none of them, 2 of them didn't even play. So like cool for you, but I feel bad. Anyway, that's just how it works, I guess. But it was exciting. I kind of already miss it, but it's nice. It's like a nice. Is prelude the right word to the Olympics? Yeah. And I think it sets everything up nicely.
The light is hitting my nose in such a weird
I know, if I lean back, it's like I'm a ghost. I can't go back that far, otherwise it's going to like illuminate me. Why are you laughing? It does.
Because it's funny.
It's like, and you see off my glasses, which is bad. But okay. Yeah. I loved it. So.
Yeah. It was kind of insane to like actually be in the building on Thursday. Sorry.
It's okay.
I wish you were there. You just had work.
Yeah, I did although there were people from work there, but not me. So it's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. But yeah, I think it sets a good bar for like having international hockey back. And I think the response, like the league actually doing something to grow the game is like insane. Because they almost never do.
Obviously, there were external factors that played into why this was such a like success.
To some degree, yeah. I feel like
I don't think 16.1 million people would have watched that game if not for
But I mean, people
else.
in terms of being there, I think like if you're a hockey fan, you want to be in that space. You want to see those players. Like it's a big rivalry on a stage that like to win something. So I think that part.
I can't even express to you how cool it was to be like McDavid, Crosby.
Yeah,
McKinnon.
like it's sick.
My God. Because
like,
it was just such like a... Also, I never see McDavid play.
Yeah.
Ever because he's across the country.
Yeah. I think like I see a lot of him, but it's like on TV.
In person is what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I've ever seen him play in person. And so to see him like... To see him actually skate like that, I was like, oh my God.
It's real. Also, like,
he like dwarfs these defensemen.
Alternate universe, like seeing all of them on the same team is just crazy, in like a good way, but crazy. Imagine that every day. Insane. But
I'm sure McKinnon's gonna go like cry about it because he like wants it on his team so badly, and now he's gone again.
Yeah, I still don't. I feel like it. That's still. I feel like it's such a far away, like reach. But it'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Also, like, then you have Marchand, who, like, what are you going to do with him? Just not let him be with his buddies?
Everyone loves him.
I know. This is, the Four Nations just taught everybody that Brad Marchand is not actually, like, a horrific human being.
He's love
so
him.
Funny.
I've always loved him.
I love the little, like, TikToks and the videos he did with him. I was like, number one, we always talk about them not having personality. Man is full of personality. And I feel like, I guess the Bruins kind of showcase it a decent amount. But if you're not watching the Bruins all the time, you're not going to see it. But yeah, that was my favorite like underlying storyline, that everybody loved Brad Marchand for like a week and a half, and then it ended and they're like, never mind, back to usual, I don't like you anymore. But
same thing with the Kachucks. Like I personally couldn't get on board. I don't care what they're doing for Team USA. I don't like them, and
my mom does not enjoy them either. Universal.
But like I think it was like Annie had said either like you're a USA fan who's like sticking to your guns and you still hate them, or you're a USA fan who's like disgusted with yourself right now. And I was like, I'm a USA fan who is sticking to my guns because I hate them.
Yeah. But I think like again, when you're looking at hockey, like that started that game, the first game like against Canada was just like, you're never gonna see that in not even a regular season, but I also feel like playoffs, it's like far reach. But yeah, in terms of setting the tone, it was different. But yeah, I would have been like, okay, that's what they do, usual. Like,
yeah, it was entertaining and it was great. And I do wish, and I've said this a lot, I think that winning at home is always better. And so like with like the Florida series, the Florida Oilers, the Stanley Cup.
Oilers. Oh, wait, I thought you meant
like the Stanley Cup final last year with Florida versus Edmonton.
The way you said it, I thought you meant Florida Oilers. I was like, Ken's. No, They play on two different countries, two opposite coasts. That's funny. Now you're the Florida Oilers, everyone. Get your tickets. Can we just post that in no context? Like, Stanley Cup final. No. It's the Florida Oilers.
So the Panthers Oilers games. And I kept saying, like, obviously the Panthers could have won it like a bunch of times. And I'm like, I just wouldn't want to win in Edmonton. Like, I feel like it's so... I was watching a collection of like the game winners and whatever from like the last like 10 Stanley Cups and like the celebrations and whatever.
It's so rare to kind of win it at home.
But it's so much better.
Yeah.
And so
of course it is.
The same thing with like the Four Nations. Like, I think that like the win just felt really like underwhelming because there were...
You're not in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
imagine that in Bell Center.
Oh my God.
That would have been like insane. Like it was insane here, but like,
do you think they should have switched it? Because I saw a lot of people saying that they should have
round robin in Boston.
Because like hockey is like Canada's sport as much as like the U.S. wants to like dig into them. But like,
think it would have been way like the reaction, and especially if we still say Canada wins, it would have been like bonkers in Canada. And I think for people in the U.S., if you did round robin, it's a lot less low stakes, and it might be easier to get like casual fans to go to that here because it's like you can go see. There weren't that many Bruins in it.
But I think also you would have done. I do think putting the round robin in Canada was a better idea because you're more likely to have casual hockey fans go to round robin.
Also, it's Canada. Like the Canadian team in Canada, and they'll go see that any day. But I think Canada winning in like Montreal would have been the coolest outcome if they flipped it.
Yeah.
Although it would have been cool to see the U.S. win in Boston, but
I can't even express to you how the Penguins scored. Malkin got a goal.
Yay.
They're playing the Rangers.
Yeah. Good for the Pens. Usual.
Anyways, like,
what did we just say?
So the concourse was loud, right? But when you would walk into the bowl, I thought I was going to go deaf.
Deafening. But that's how you want it.
Absolutely,
like,
but
the
oh my God.
that you like dream of having for a matchup like that. I think that's so sick that they got it.
And so like if the US had won, I can't even imagine what that building would have sounded like because oh my God, it was loud.
Wild. It would have been wild.
Like even like the video, like it's loud on video, but it just was like
an
echo chamber. It was deafening.
It doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things do on video. But yeah.
It was great.
It was a lot of fun. And I think it kind of, I guess, went the way we kind of saw it coming in.
We all knew US-Canada was going to be.
Finland and Sweden got a little more time, but it's like with 7 games in an entire, like it's hard to, if you don't win 2 games, like you're done. Like poor Sweden was like, your fate was decided by time that Canada-Finland game was done. But
Sweden?
Sweden.
I thought you said Finland. No. I might be losing
Sweden
it.
after.
Okay.
Yeah, after Canada-Finland game. Sorry.
No, I know what you meant. I just don't know if that's what you said.
I think I said it. If not, I meant Sweden. I'm so sorry. But I also think it was cool. I think they often get overlooked in the North American scheme of things. Yeah. And I think it was so cool to see them with their players, their national players and all that. So I think that was so cool. And I wish they got a little more time to, like, you know, win or maybe see one of them in the finals. But also I don't think that would have had the same reaction as like the excitement of it if it was like Canada Sweden in the final or US Finland, but it would have been different.
It was the most watched the championships was the most watched non-NFL game on ESPN.
Yeah.
And it was
and easily the biggest watched NHL game.
I think it was the most watched NHL game in like 30 years or something,
and higher than like all the Stanley Cup finals and finals and all that. Games
because it was crazy and it was insane. And I think the unfortunate thing is that America didn't show up for it. And like they scored some goals and it was fun to watch, but I think when like you go back and like if you go back and watch it, and if you're an American, if you are a US fan and you want to start yelling at us, just do me a favor, go watch the game like you're watching film. And you're like analyzing it because the US had a problem in that game, and Canada exploited it, and they did a good job at it.
Yeah, and I know people are
and Hellebuck is the only reason that game went to overtime.
People are gonna be like, oh, the injuries and all that, and I'm like, no. Yeah, but that doesn't. They had so much. You could tell in effort wise who wanted it more. I know we always talk about like the team that wants it more is end up who wins it, but you could clearly tell. And yeah, Canada figured out what their weaknesses were and made the best of it, and then that's how you're gonna win. Yeah, and I think Hellebuck was the only reason they even got to overtime, luckily enough. So, which we also expected, but
dude, I thought that man was gonna like throw out his back at the end of that game, because Canada, and listen, if you're a superstitious hockey fan, I'm so sorry, but like the entire time that I was sitting in the seat that I was sitting in for the end of it, Canada had control of the puck for the most part, and like it's just like shot after shot on Hellebuck that just, I was like, how is this man saving
also
this right now?
Like, proves to you, I know like everybody's always like, he never wins big games and like chokes in the playoffs, but like I also think the performance, that the fact he kind of dragged them to overtime and played it that well in overtime kind of shows.
He looked so like, devastated.
He's the only player that
but also
showed up in that sense.
You cannot blame Connor Hellebuck for that loss. First off, Fox made a bad play.
Oh my God.
And then Marner made an amazing play, and then Matthews made such a bad play.
Did you see the reporter that asked Matthews about that? They're like, oh, you were so close, like intercepting the pass or whatever he was doing, and he had such attitude to the reporter. He was like, yeah, sure, because he didn't want to talk about it. Yeah, they asked him about it.
You lost the game for your country because you left Connor McDavid open in the slot.
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah. Like, you could see that coming a mile away. But yeah, I thought it was funny. They asked him, and I was like, I know you're mad, but like, it was also kind of your fault. I'm going to say kind of.
Listen, the Rangers chat that I'm in was like going off on Fox and trying to blame him for everything, and I was like, guys, just, it like really wasn't his fault.
No, I mean, it's like a part of the problem.
Did he make a bad? I don't think the Rangers did so poorly on this team, it's not even funny.
But they went somehow,
and then they lost 8-2.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how many of them, if any,
survive the trade deadline.
Well, yes, but I meant like make the Olympic team. Yeah, because like I can't. If I was a GM of this team and like saw that, I'd be like, why would I bring you to an even bigger tournament against better teams?
I know.
So they had their fun, I guess.
I also did think it was funny that like you had like U.S. fans and players who were like, this is bigger than the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
This is one of the most important games ever. And then they lost and they were like, it's just an all-star game. And I was like, guys, no, you like my brothers do this.
You can't go back on that. You said it already.
I mean, no, my brothers do this where they're like, we're the best, we're going to beat you, da, 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 and then they lose. And then they like,
no, never mind.
They're like,
said that.
Yeah, it's fine. And I'm like, you guys need to like, if you're gonna say it, say it.
Yeah, full confidence. You can't go back on it. Yeah. Sorry, you said it. That's how it is. Yeah, that was. I get it to a certain extent because like a lot of them have never played like for their country on a stage like that. But the one that got me the most was like Matthew Tkachuk saying it's bigger than a Game 7. I was like, you literally just played in a Game 7 and won the Stanley Cup. How is this? It's not Olympics. Like I get that. It's just I don't know. I have never done it, so I have no speaking on it, but. It just was funny to me.
No.
I was like, you just did that like 6 months ago. Well, longer than that. But what?
No, that
what
was.
Do you mean? Anyway.
I don't like it. Anyways.
Yeah.
Where do we think the NHL can, like how do they do this again? Because obviously this was like an amazing success.
Yes. Thankfully. I'm glad it was because I feel like a lot of people expected it not to be.
Yeah.
But it's unlike them to like keep the momentum going.
But yes, like how do we? Because also like the thing that I think was frustrating is the Blues played the Jets last night, and Binnington and Hellebuck sat out.
Both out, yeah.
And it was like, I understand why you're out, but also, oh my God, why are you allowed to sit out?
Well, they just came back from.
No, I don't care. But when you're looking like from a ratings perspective, from a business perspective,
no, I agree.
The NHL should have been like, you're playing. You're not injured. Because like, okay, we've talked about this. The NBA has a rule where like you can't sit a player unless they're injured if it's like a LeBron or something, and
which I think is funny. Like imagine that in the NHL. No, I agree. But I feel like their mindset was like, you still have what 30-ish games to go ish, and you just played how many games for a week when everybody else got off, and like I know you want, like, but you want the matchup. The
if starters. You want to capitalize on
that momentum, you should put them in. Yeah. But I feel like they also, I don't know what that counts for risking injury.
But even if they weren't going to play, they could have marketed it like that. Like the NHL could have. Like, okay, the
have
NHL.
You met the NHL?
Yes, but so like they could have done like Penguins Oilers, where it was like put Crosby and McDavid right up against each other the next day, or you know,
didn't have any matchups like that.
No, there was nothing that like followed up, like, and you were like, oh, it's exactly gonna keep this going. Yeah, and it just was like, oh, there's 14 games today, amazing. Oh, we're back, and like cool. It kind of really hit you in the face because like the goalies did not come to work yesterday.
Yeah,
and it like really hit you in the face. You're like, oh, this is regular season hockey again, except for the hit by DeBrincat, because that was.
I think I missed that one.
Oh, you didn't see it?
Yeah, I think I was on my way to work.
Oh.
I know they won. No, they didn't win.
They didn't win. It was a good hit. And it was a clean hit, except he got attacked for it afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know. I also think I mentioned before, like the amount of players that are now injured because they went and they got injured in the tournament. And I feel like, although it was so great from like a fan's perspective to see it, I wonder if GMs are like, well, now I don't want to send my best players because in the middle of the season I'm going to need them. And like they came in healthy and they're coming back to you not healthy. And now like, what does that put you like for the Bruins having McAvoy?
So bad for McAvoy.
Yeah, like that. You're like a bubble team at this rate because they're not in a playoff spot and they're still fighting for one. But like if that was me, I'd be more mad about losing somebody that you rely on a lot because of a tournament that doesn't mean anything, quote unquote.
No, and that's the thing is like it doesn't mean anything. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's
not
the cup, it's not the Olympics.
Yeah,
it literally was just for like pride.
But I wonder if that's something like the league will hear about, and then it's like, well, now we can't do this. Like I know,
but they scheduled the World Cup of Hockey, and so I'm like,
we'll just see how it goes. I'm very interested because
I know, but I'm trying to think of like what they can do to like. Because if we're going to do Olympics, like, are we going to do All-Star right before? Because I also feel like, no.
What?
I feel like doing the All-Star right before the Olympics is also, like, really draining on a lot of those players.
Yeah, because, like, almost everybody that goes to that All-Star game is pretty much going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
But I think, like, the league, it's kind of funny about the Olympics. Like, the league can't do anything with it, despite the fact that they send players. Like, they don't get to, like, talk about it or broadcast it because, like, it's all rights they don't own because it's
they can talk about it.
Well, yeah, but like it's in a different sense of it's not their product.
If anyone understands what you're talking about, it's me.
So I just think maybe that's their way of being like, here's our thing before they go do this other thing that isn't actually ours. I know, which I get, but it's a lot. Also, it's like a lot oversaturation for like people who are not as insane as we are, who will watch all of that. The casual hockey fan may not watch All-Star because they know the Olympics are coming up and that's the cooler thing.
Yeah.
And like, how much time can you expect a regular person to dedicate to a whole All-Star weekend and then like 2 weeks of the Olympics ish? I don't know. Also, I'm like, why would they? We always talk about them not trying an All-Star game. Why would they try for that one when they're going to the Olympics? Like,
no, they wouldn't. But like, if we're looking at like Quinn Hughes, you have to then fly from Vancouver to Long Island and then fly from Long Island to Milan instead of just flying from
to Italy.
Yeah, but like instead of just and like I know that he would have had to stop over in New York anyway.
Like a layover, would there not be? But yes, I know what you mean. Like you don't have to do anything when you that layover just be you traveling, not
instead of going to like a spa for a day.
Like, go have fun. Like go do some All-Star stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I hope they don't lose it because I think it put the NHL and like hockey on a lot of people's maps that weren't exactly paying attention to it before. But now it's a question of, okay, you saw those players, so now you have to like get them to watch a team or dedicate themselves to watching one player, and that's how you generate that. But I don't really know. Also, it's like so hard to watch hockey because you need like 5,000 subscriptions and where to find it and whatever. So I don't really know.
The Rangers scored. Will Cooley. He's the only person on the team who knows how to play hockey at this point.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting.
I also on the viewership thing,
yeah,
the AHL needs to be easier to watch because that subscription is expensive.
I know they do like the free game of the week or whatever, but it's only one game, and you don't get to choose what game it is. It's just like the game they tell you. Yeah, and I think, because like I always tell people, I'm like, go to, like, they're so cheap to go to, kind of like we always say about the P-Dub, like go, because it's like you could. Yes, you could go with so many,
but the P-Dub is so easy to keep up with.
But I mean, like, I always tell people that live close to the AHL teams to go, because it's hockey and it's cheap.
It's accessible, yeah.
Yeah, but I also think, like, for me and for you, it's not, like, we don't, like, the closest to me is an NHL team. So, yeah. Which, like, yes, I can do that, and I will, and I do, clearly. But if I were to watch, like, if I had an NHL team to watch at home, it's almost, like, impossible unless you pay, like, what is it, like $70 something like that. It's crazy.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And, like, I have friends who play in that league, and so I'm, like, it's
impossible.
Like, Ryan scored a goal last night, and I was like, I would have loved to have seen that. Instead, I got a video on Instagram from his girlfriend.
I was gonna say, like, I think the best thing about the P-Dub is that the YouTube, well, that's only in the US, not in Canada, so I'm sorry to anybody who watches them in Canada.
But it's so accessible.
It is. And I think that makes it so much easier. Like, I can watch that anywhere I am, no matter, like, because it's just there. And I don't have to pay anything. It's just, like, you watch a live stream, and I think that makes it so great. I think for them, they see it beneficial because they're trying to grow, like, them. Like, people need to know who they are and where they are and how to watch them. And I feel like other leagues are not going to do that because they don't, I don't want to say they make money off of it, but it's kind of hard to monetize
but that's
that.
what it is. Yeah.
And like, but it'd be so much easier if it was like that for everyone. Because then you could just, you know how many more people would watch it? Like, in any level of hockey?
And I understand why we don't have, like, monopolies and whatever. But the only time that except, like, we kind of do. Yeah, anyways, like, we're not going to get into that. Yeah. Anyways, but, like, why can't we have one for sports? Because, like, to watch every single NHL game, you have to have, like, an HBO subscription, a TNT subscription. ESPN.
And then your local, whatever, like, your local team is.
Yeah. So, channel. Like, for us, like, we have to have, like, MSG. Yeah. And so... And that's, like, if you're in Boston, you need Nesson.
That's, like, if your provider even provides that channel, and, like, then it becomes a whole other thing. And
so we were talking about subscription. So I'm cutting that out of the episode, but just so everyone knows, a bug just flew into my face, and there was.
We tried to rescue it, and it was not rescued. Oh my god!
No, because I kill bugs. I'm so sorry. I'm a bad person.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Okay, that was
our entertainment for the day. Like, keeps us on our toes. Oh my god.
I understand why the NHL can charge as much as it does for its prices, but I feel like if they made the sport more accessible, like, it would just be
way more popular, to say the least, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like, more people can actually watch it.
Yeah, because, like, to go to, like, an NFL game, like, I understand, like, the stadiums are, like, supply and demand. Like, the stadiums are bigger for the NFL, so you can charge less for the tickets, whatever. But, like, why am I paying $200 for one ticket?
Yeah, I think the NFL is also probably easier to watch because if you're in, like, a certain market, you get whatever games are on, like, cable TV or whatever your main.
Unless you're a Bills fan who lives in New York, and then you can't watch anything. I said.
Like, you get, like, the one that's by you, and then, like, some random extra game that, like, nobody you want to watch. But yeah, I think that's like, I'm surprised as many people tuned into this as they did because it was like 4 of the games were on TNT, which, like, if you don't have Max or, like, cable TV, you don't have it. And then the rest were on ESPN/ABC. So I think I was, like, kind of surprised that many people watched it. But I don't think that many people are just going to randomly be like, well, now I have this and let me watch hockey, because TNT only has Wednesday games and it's only whatever teams are playing in those games. And ESPN, I actually love the ESPN Plus hockey stuff because I watch a lot of teams that do not play where I live, and that's how I watch them.
Oh, yeah. But I don't necessarily listen to it. And also, their graphics annoy me a lot.
No, I know. No, well, like, so on ESPN, though, like, if I watch a Canucks game, it's like the Sportsnet broadcast. And if I watch an Avs game, it's the Avs broadcast. Like, their local broadcast, but I watch it here.
Yes. Okay.
So, like, I love that because,
yes.
you know, I live in New Jersey and those are not teams near me. But, like, the national ESPN broadcasts are not my fave. Sometimes.
I will say the announcer, I don't remember his name, the announcer for the championship game, because I was
Sean McDonough?
Yes.
Yeah. I think. They changed
it. Was McDonough, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I was there, obviously. So like watching it back, he did a great job, I will say.
Mm-hmm.
So good times.
Yeah. So I think that's like their first hurdle of how to like keep people here.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see how long that lasts. Also, like, you did it in February and now there's only 2 months, a month and a half left of the season. So I don't know. But if you watch Four Nations, you should stick around. Promise you, 95% of the time it's fun.
Depending on what team you root for.
That's what I mean. Like, that's what I said. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. But it's okay.
Can't wait to get called a bandwagon during the playoffs because I'm going to root for one of my other teams because the Rangers are not going to be there.
No, I just do whatever. I don't even care.
No, I
know.
Like,
okay, and? Although I say it to my brother all the time, but I'm like, different situation. I'll say it to him all the time. But
well, that's like, I do it to the boys because they like won't root for the Bills until it's the playoffs. And I'm like, bandwagon.
Yeah, okay, that's like the most obvious.
Also because like
version of it.
Yeah, I'm like, you're like, you actively like hate them during the regular, like at least like with the teams that I'm going to root for during the playoffs, like I do root for them during the.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm the worst hockey fan. I want everyone to have fun and I want shout out Double Hockey Sticks. Because I just also hope that everyone has funds and the people stop stealing their merch ideas. Yeah. No, I just like hockey. I'm sorry.
I like root for my teams, but like
I won't die for my team though.
No, my thing is this is why I argue it's more fun. More fun? Yeah. It's more fun to like more than one team because I think I'm going on like year 2 of all, I guess we'll say 4. I didn't used to count the Canucks, but like they are there unfortunately, I guess now. And the Isles are not, whatever. I've had almost all of them in the playoffs for the last 2 years. So like my favorite thing is when somebody gets eliminated, I can be like, well, you're still in it. So like I get to keep rooting for you. And then of course, you know,
I had a hierarchy last season.
Really?
Yeah.
I usually just like go, whoever loses first, I'm like, okay, see ya. Have fun. Thanks. But like,
no, I had
you
like
stick around. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to keep like, you get to keep rooting for somebody. You don't lose in the first round.
I was like, okay, I want the Rangers to go, and if the Rangers can't go, I want the Bruins to go, and if the Bruins can't go, I want the Red Wings to go, and if the Red Wings can't go, I want the Canucks to go. Yeah. And like it just kept going.
Yeah, I just kind of root.
And it basically got to the point where I was like, anyone but the Florida Panthers.
Again.
And we saw how that went.
Yeah.
So,
but I usually just go like, if somebody loses in the first round, I'm like, okay, who's still in it? And then I keep going with whoever. Like last year it was the Rangers who made it as far. Yeah, Canucks lost second round. Isles were out in the first.
Yeah, remind me of that one.
And the Avs were also, sorry, they were second. So yeah, but I just love having that because then you don't have to like stop watching the playoffs or stop caring when one team loses. And I'm like, well, I get to keep having fun.
Yeah.
If somebody makes it. I did have a year where all of them lost in the first round, and I was like, well, that sucks. But I still watch it anyway because I'm psychotic. But it's fine.
I don't think I'm mentally prepared for like, because okay, listen, the Rangers and the Islanders are teams that I've rooted for since I was young, and I feel like obviously like if the Devils make it this year, it's a very different experience like for me. And so like that would be insane in its own right. If the Rangers ever make it to a cup, I don't think I can watch it because the anxiety that I felt in rounds 2 and 3 last year. Yeah. And then the anxiety that I felt for teams that I don't care about.
It's real.
I won't make it out of a Stanley Cup run for the Islanders or the Rangers. Yeah. I will die, actually.
I think it's funny because like I was like 2 or 3 years into being an Avs fan when they won, and like I don't want to say it was very different because like I was anxious about it, but I also like the difference between that and the Rangers was like it seemed possible. I was like, oh, this is like it's doable. Like if they make it to a cup final, okay, fine. Like the Rangers, I feel like I'd be in so much shock of them even making it to the final that I'd be like, what do I do? Like I don't know how do I feel? What do I do with it? The anxiety of watching a team that you like in the Stanley Cup final though is like I don't wish that on anybody. No. It's terrible. It's like it's fun when that you win, but not fun when you lose. I've never had to experience that. But yeah. I think the disbelief of the Rangers being there in the first place would be like, what? Are you sure? Is this the right team that you asked to put there? But yeah. Maybe they'll hear us. I mean, they have to be good enough to make the playoffs, so not this year. Maybe. But
I think they're tied right now. They're tied.
Yeah, but they're not like...
They're only 4 points out and have a game in hand.
We'll see.
Games on some of them.
I don't know if I believe, but we'll see what they do.
I'm just trying not to get my hopes up.
Yeah, that too. I'm trying to be realistic about it. So, yeah.
Oh, back to Four Nations real quick. A complaint about Brady Tkachuk very often with the Senators is that he doesn't show up as much as he could. And I feel like the Four Nations really proved that point. And if I was like the GM or the coach of the Senators, I'd be like, you can sit. Either play like that or sit.
Yeah. I also think it was so funny that as soon as that first game against Canada, everybody was like, oh my God, he's going to go to Florida. Because, like, look how good he's playing with his brother, blah, blah, whatever. And I'm like, no.
I also just, like, don't want him on the Rangers because I can't mentally handle that. So please don't bring him here.
Please stay where you are.
Stay in Ottawa, please. Thanks.
Or go somewhere else. It's not here.
No, just stay in Ottawa. I like forgetting about you, actually.
That's the quote of the episode. I like forgetting about you.
I have object permanence real bad. So if I don't if I don't see you, I don't think about you.
That is so true. That's so real.
So like I'm gonna forget that you exist in 3 weeks. Like, I'm kidding.
I think I'm like going to the bottom of the ocean.
You're going across the
world. But I'm like I'll still be around. Be watching hockey in the morning.
That's so weird.
It's so weird, but like I'm excited. I'd be like, oh my God, it's 7:00 in the day before, and I'm watching it the next morning, at the same time. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know if that's because like the Sens are just the Sens and they don't have that same kind of energy. But like if you're willing to show up for a team, why can't you do it for the one that you play for all the time, every day?
The one you get paid to
and that you lead,
play
like
for,
you literally wear the C for said team. I don't know.
You're the captain. It's literally your job.
That is like your whole job description, quite literally. Yeah, it's a good point. Very good point.
Just a thought. If you had to call the cup now, like who's going to be in it?
Oh, the final?
Yeah.
I'm terrible at this.
Okay. I feel like Winnipeg's in it.
You've been saying that from like the beginning of the season.
But I feel like the East is where it gets...
Yeah, like I want to say Caps, but I don't know if they can go on a deep enough playoff run.
I think that...
But like, who else is it? Carolina? Probably not.
It might be the Devils, man.
Can you imagine if Toronto makes it? I would laugh. Oh my God, it'd be all Canada Stanley Cup final. Actually, give that to me.
No, I don't want to watch the Leafs play in a final. It'd be so sad.
Not Leafs. Where is it? Well, you only all the other ones are in the. You only have
Ottawa.
Okay, well, Ottawa.
Ottawa could make it. I don't want to see Ottawa do it either.
Montreal is a little too far behind, but they could make it. Yeah, I think Winnipeg. I don't know. Winnipeg, I feel like, is always a sure choice, and then they never get where you think they are.
I feel like it's gonna be Winnipeg or Dallas.
Yeah.
From the West, and then I feel like it's...
I think a lot of people still think that the Oilers will go back.
No, they...
I don't think they're the same team like last year.
It's not the same team. They don't have They don't have a goaltender who can push them deep enough this season.
They have the same goaltender.
I know. I'm aware.
I was like, they didn't do anything. Okay,
no,
yeah.
The way that he's playing this season, I don't see it happening.
No, I agree. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know who would beat Winnipeg. I feel like the Caps, I feel like, would be a good choice, but I also don't think I want to see them in a cup final again. And I don't know if it's just regular season success or if it's going to convert.
I feel like it's probably going to be the Devils based off of how everyone's playing right now.
They make me nervous. They're like, I can play for like 10 games. After that, 10 games I don't know how to play. And then 10 games I know how to play.
Yeah, no, I know.
And you can't really do that in the playoffs because, like,
you lose too many, you're out.
If you lose 3, you're already, like, testing the waters.
Yeah.
On any series. Yeah. That'd be I would actually, I don't know what I would do.
If the Devils were in it?
Like, yeah. No, I'm saying that as someone who lives in New Jersey as a Rangers fan.
I'd have to work so much.
I actually, though, they would send me to that because it's 10 minutes away. So.
I'd have
to work. For that benefit.
So much.
I would fear for my life. My car that decal would be taken off my car the entire time. Your plane's taken off.
My computer is getting
I
got a new computer, everybody. I need to set it up still. But hopefully episodes are like easier to edit for me. Yeah.
I see it. I think it'd be interesting. But like, I don't know.
I just feel like the season hasn't been like entertaining because like there's no like dark horse that like is gonna like, at least as of right now. We said like a few episodes ago that like you could go on a 7-game tear right now and you could make it. So who knows? But I feel like none of the teams
somebody do that
have enough like depth.
No.
To like go anywhere.
I feel like the funniest thing, like they all have like your core players, but beyond like every team's core is just like some random group of guys that makes like no beneficial sense to the core group of guys.
I just feel like no one's gonna be able to, like, if you asked me right now that I was absolutely 100% certain that a team was going to make it. I'm sorry if I just shook that.
Earthquake.
Like, if you were like bet your life on a team making it to the cup final, I couldn't.
That is terrifying thought. Because like, I also don't know what I would say.
Because like, yeah, like the Jets seem like the obvious choice, but obviously like they have their faults. Yeah.
The Stars, I feel like, are promising enough.
Yeah.
And they're so well balanced. Like they have a good goaltender. They have a lot of young guys who are playing really well. They have the veterans that even that out, and they're also playing really well.
I can't stop yawning.
That's actually a little scary.
Yeah.
But like a Dallas, I'm saying this as they played last night, a Dallas Devils final, I feel like the Devils would, I think they'd be lucky if they even win a game. That's if they have, I guess, with Markstrom and net, we might have a little better conversation. But that could either be like really evenly matched or completely one-sided, not in the Devils' favor.
I don't think it was that bad last night. I think that like there were just a lot of like weird bounces.
Yeah.
I also didn't watch the whole game, so that's
my favorite thing about I can't even say Devils Twitter because I'm not really on that side. I am, but I'm not. Like so many of the beat reporters complain about the bottom 2 lines and how they don't do anything, and I'm like, okay, but are you the GM? Are you gonna go out and who are you gonna get? Go get someone. Like I just love when people, and I'm like, okay, we all know
that was.
But like, what are you gonna do?
Everything I'm seeing about the Rangers right now is like sell the entire team.
Yes, I'm like,
and I'm like, guys, you can't.
Okay, like what is it? What's the like the armchair? What is that like phrase? Like you're an armchair couch,
like backseat driver, but
coach. Like what is the
passenger seat?
GM? Something like that.
I don't know.
But like you're like saying all that in your home, and like you don't have any.
Yeah.
Like they're not listening to you. I mean, I'm sure I see it, but like, GM isn't gonna be like, yeah, that's a
could you imagine
move. I saw this on Twitter. I have to do this. This was a great idea. That'd be actually hilarious if they like got somebody in a presser and then they were like, yeah, why'd you make this trade? Like, I saw some random guy on Twitter. Thought it was a great idea. I went for it.
Speaking of trades, trade deadline's in 13 days. And the Canes have offered Mikko Rantanen
I think this is wild.
Massive contract that he is questioning because he said that he's still in shock about being traded. He has 13 days to figure this out because like I think basically if the Canes have said like if he doesn't sign they want to trade him,
they're gonna trade him, and you have to do it before,
and it's in 13 days. Yeah, so I'm sure that's gonna go well.
I don't know, like
in what world does Colorado try to take him back?
Everybody thinks now he's going to the Oilers, which I don't know about you, but where the heck is Edmonton getting that money Because you got 2 players that are getting paid over $12 million next year.
They don't have it.
So.
I
would hate that. I would absolutely. No. I would hate that.
What do you think the Rangers would have to do to get him?
They'd have to give up so much. But I don't know, like.
But, like, as long as it would
be worth it at this point.
But as long as we're not. I feel like Lafreniere and Cooley.
But.
Are the. What?
If they get rid of Laffy, though, I actually would be so upset.
So
like, you took all his friends away.
Hold on. So the end of my sentence.
So you were like, those are 2 that
was
meaning?
That Lafreniere and Cooley are the only 2 completely untouchable players on the Rangers right now for me personally.
To us. But I also don't think
if the GMs are considering moving Cooley, I feel like they're doing drugs. Because he's the.
What are you talking about?
He's like the only Ranger that's like performing.
Yeah.
Enough.
And I just think it's so funny because if a player has a really good season and the next year they don't, they automatically lose like all their value. Yeah. Like, I'm sure if you trade Adam Fox, when did they win the Norris? 4 seasons ago? It was before Kale. Kale was in 22. So 21. 4 seasons. That is actually insane.
Yeah. I don't know what year it
That's
is.
That's wild. If you traded him that season after, you would have probably gotten, like, that would have been a perfect return for a team to give you a superstar, maybe like Mikko. Now, I can't even imagine what you would get for him.
That's also why
knowing what you're getting in a player now. You know
when
what I mean?
Everyone's like, "Oh, we'll sell the whole team." I'm like, no one wants the team.
That's the problem. You can't trade people that nobody want, and like that's also half your issue. And like them, you have the cap space take on or the cap hit take on, and then
you have a goalie that's signed at an 11 mil, so that's fine.
It's it's wild. Yeah, I don't know if Mikko I don't know. I would love Abs if you listen to this, please.
Take him back.
Take him back. I'll forget everything you did. Just take him back. Yeah, I don't know. I also don't know.
Could you imagine they take him back and they win?
That'd be like the story of the century. I feel like. Although, like,
that would be fun.
I still it still feels fake to me. Like I'm like, oh yeah, he's there, like in Carolina, but like it like still doesn't process in my brain. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm also trying to think of anybody else.
Well, it's the same thing with Natchez. Like, they were talking about him the other day, and I was like, no, he's on the Canes. Like, it's taking a really long time for my brain to, like, wrap its head around it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I can't think of anybody that, like, would be so... Like, if they move them, it'd be like, oh, my God, it happened. But I'm sure there's one that's out there. I'm just not... It's not hitting my brain right now. But it's always chaos leading up to the trade deadline.
Do you think the trade deadline's actually going to be that chaotic considering the trades that we've already had this season? Or do you think it's going to be more like mellow?
I'm trying to remember what it was like last year. Because I feel like it wasn't crazy last year.
No.
And I think like, everybody did everything, like, major. Well, the 2 that have happened that were, like, the biggest. So, maybe not.
I don't know.
But, like, if this thing with Mikko is legit... That's like a whole other story. Which that's wild. Like going to a new team and being like, I don't want to stay there.
Here for the trade deadline.
Yeah. I also had this random thought that when I come back, I'm going to the Hughes Bowl game, and I was like, oh my God, yes. And then I was like, my whole thought process is I forget that like that's after the trade deadline, and I'm like, oh my God, if there's players that like aren't there anymore and like have been moved, I'll be here track. Don't worry. I'm too emotionally attached. It's gonna be wild.
I know, but we're not gonna have an episode on it until like a week later. Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
When is it? I could do it. We'll figure it out.
I don't think our schedules will line up enough for that. Anyways.
It'll be wild.
The episodes you're gonna see for the next like 3 weeks are going to be pre-recorded. So if something sounds outdated, that will be why.
We apologize, or I apologize.
Because someone's leaving.
She won't let me forget it. I'm not leaving. I'm coming back.
It's okay. You were mad at me for going to Four Nations without you, so now.
So bad. Like everybody I knew was there, and I was not.
Not everybody you knew.
Yeah, most people I knew. So, it's okay.
It'll be great.
But yeah, we'll see.
All that to say, if you get an opportunity to do like quote unquote grunt work at like a really big event, do it.
Everybody says that too. Like if you can volunteer or do whatever, it's
listen. I'm typically
so cool.
I'm very anti like unpaid internship. This was an opportunity that like I wasn't gonna pass up. So
yeah, do it.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.